Assalamualaikum, my dear students of grade 7. Today we are going to discuss about one of the major process under the title of respiration in which air is involved. My dear students, in this lecture, inshallah, we are supposed to discuss that what is respiration, how the food is supposed to be break down, how we inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide and other gases. So, which reaction is involved in order to have a respiration, and how carbon dioxide and water vapors are produced. And similarly, we are supposed to discuss that how different living organisms like humans, mammals, birds, reptiles, fishes, and plants supposed to have inhale and exhale. Which organ of these organisms are supposed to have inhale and exhale mechanism? So let us start our first topic, that what is respiration. Actually, the respiration is the process by which living organisms produce their energy in order to do different life activities. For example, as you are student, you have to play, you have to write, you have to read, you have to run, you have to perform number of activities throughout your daily life, or throughout your life. So for that particular activities you need energy. So from which where this energy comes from the respiration process. Okay, what happens when respiration occurs? In fact, we have two parallel mechanisms which is also in working, that is digestion and your breathing system. So what is digestion? When we take food and when it enters in our stomach, here it is converted into pieces, and from there that food is converted into glucose. There are two parts of food, one is your useful and other is your useless. This useful part is called glucose. This glucose is available for the respiration, or this glucose is available to produce energy. Now, another thing is oxygen. When we are supposed to inhale gas, along with other gases, there is 21% oxygen present in air, and that 21% oxygen comes in our through our mouth or nose into our lungs, and from lungs it mixed with blood, and that blood which is carry glucose. I told you where this glucose comes. This is the product as a result of digestive system. Now here this glucose and air, glucose from digestive system and oxygen from breathing system, they combine, and there occur a reaction as a result of which energy is released, and that energy is used by humans or living organisms in order to perform their life activities. So first we have covered that what is the mechanism which is used to produce energy. So respiration is a process through which the living organism produce the energy to carry on their life activities. Second one is how the food is break down. I told you that through digestive system, food is break down into small pieces, and from that small pieces it is converted into two parts, useless and useful, and that useful part is called the glucose. And how we inhale oxygen? We inhale oxygen through our breathing system, and this oxygen from air enters into our lungs. This is called our breathing system. And what type of reaction occurs? The reaction that occurs in during respiration is that the glucose react with oxygen and it produces energy. Now, do you think that the energy is the only product we get from this respiration? No, not at all. Actually, the other two things, that is carbon dioxide and water vapors, are also the products of this reaction. In fact, there are three things which we get from respiration. Two reactants means glucose and oxygen react with each other, And what happens, we get three things. One is carbon dioxide, other is water vapor, and the third one is energy. Energy is our main objective, or it is our main purpose of respiration. But when we are supposed to exhale the gases, this carbon dioxide and water vapors comes out from our body. So this is clear. Now we have to move toward the other important aspects of respiration, that which organ is supposed to have this exchange of gases. In humans, mammals, reptiles and birds, we have specialized organ that is called as lungs, and the lungs is responsible for the exchange of gases. When we inhale gases, nitrogen, carbon dioxide and oxygen and the other noble gases that comes in our lungs, and when we are supposed to have respiration, and as a result of respiration, the ratio of these gases changes, and along with the increase in carbon dioxide and water vapor and decrease in the intensity of oxygen, these gases comes out, and the organ which is responsible for this breathing, this exchange of gases, is our lung. But in fishes there are specialized organs which is called as gills, and that gills is responsible to absorb oxygen which is present inside the water. In our last lecture we discussed that oxygen has the air has the capacity to dissolve in water, and fishes use their gills to absorb oxygen which is present inside water, and releases carbon dioxide back through their gills into the water. And the last one is your plants. You know better, plant have a small opening, and or we can say that the small pores which is called as stomata. This is under their leaves, and the plant use this stomata in order to exchange the gases, whether they need carbon dioxide to have photosynthesis, or as a result of photosynthesis they release oxygen. Whatever the exchange of gases is, that is occurs at stomata, which is present under the leaves. Now, my dear student, we have to compare that what is the ratio of different gases before and after the respiration. Now we have to realize, we have to observe that which gases intensity ratio has been increased and which gases ratio has been decreased. Now, my dear student, you have to look at this pie chart. This picture is called as beta pie chart. This is actually the this picture reflects the ratio of different gases before respiration. You know, there is 78% nitrogen in air, and along with 21% oxygen, and there is small amount of water vapor which is available inside that air, and we have a very comparatively very small proportion of carbon dioxide, which is about 0.035%. But after the after the respiration occurs, now you feel that the intensity of nitrogen and inert gases will remain the same. As nitrogen is 78% before respiration, it is also 78% after respiration. Inert gases are also 1%, and in case of both and after the respiration. But look at the carbon dioxide, we have 0.035% carbon dioxide before respiration, but after respiration we have 4%. A large drastic change occurs in the intensity or amount of carbon dioxide. And look at oxygen, which is 21% before our respiration, but after respiration it is about 16%. So it is clear from the fact that before respiration, after the respiration, oxygen amount is supposed to be decreased, whereas a carbon dioxide amount is supposed to be increased. But this energy produced by respiration is used to perform life activities. We have to perform different activities, like we have to play, we have to move here and there. Some students are doing their job, they have to do their homework, and they have to move from here and there. So in order to do different life activities, we need energy, and that energy is provided by respiration system. And secondly, we need energy for growth. Now let us consider the last point of our lecture, that what is the reaction involved in respiration. I told you that we have glucose from our digestive system, and it combined with oxygen which is inhaled by our lungs through which is inhaled by our lungs, and these two combines together, and these two are called as the reactant of this reaction, and it produces energy along with carbon dioxide and water. And one thing which I forget, that before look at that chart again, you will observe that, look at this chart beta, the water vapor inside your body before respiration is comparatively very low as compared to water vapor which is more than inhaled air. Yes, this is the one of the difference. And the last point is that where water vapors come from, this is as a result of your respiration. Along with energy and carbon dioxide, water vapors are also produced. So this is the reaction. You have to keep it in your mind, that what is glucose. Glucose has formula C6H12O6. Oxygen is represented by O2. It is a gas. It is always written in O2 form, molecular form. And we get carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is our CO2 is carbon dioxide, and H2O represents water, and ATP is basically your energy. So better keep, you have to listen this lecture 2 to 3 times, so that you have a good command on this topic. Thank you, beta.